read all about it. Get your copies while they last. Stop the presses.
And now for something completely different.
Are you ready for a little truth? Are we not entertained? Wisdom is the proper use of knowledge and experience. There are no safe spaces here. The truth shall make you free. It's showtime! So you want the truth, but can you handle the truth? Well, here's another fine mess you've gotten us into. Now that's entertainment. Enlighten me a little. What you say is quite logical. And what did we learn? Prepare yourself for a little sensory overload. I came here for the truth. 7 years ago. Stand by the roll show intro. Roll show intro in 3, 2, 1, go.
This is the Craig L. Hayes Show.
Hello, America, family, friends, and listeners all around this planet we call home. And this is the Craig L. Hayes Show, and I am Craig L. Hayes. On this beautiful, wonderful Friday, the 28th of June, 2024. For those of you that did not watch, listen, or pay any attention to what was going on yesterday in this nation, we had a debate last night. And I have to admit, I only watched about 30 minutes because 30 minutes was all I could take watching this demented old man just stumble on himself and make a fool of himself. I'm talking about Joe Biden, the most corrupt and senile and just destructive president. He is a wrecking ball and flamethrower for this nation in its economy and every other aspect, as is the Democrat Party, which is pure evil. Anyhow, this monologue today is going to take and just have a little discussion on what I saw and what I thought. For that 30 minutes I'd watched, and I didn't need to see anything more other than just how bad it was. Donald Trump was on the money. I was looking to see if he was going to get upset, annoyed, lash out, and do something dumb, like he likes to say things that are kind of stupid sometimes. I think he's a great president. I think he did a great job. I'm hoping he's going to be reelected and do another great job and restore the damage and repair the damage, I should say, that Joe Biden, his evil Democrat Party, have foisted on this country. But anyhow, simple questions. And Joe Biden, and you know, after even a week of 16 people running him through questions and debating and doing everything they could, and then they pepped him up. You know, he was on, I don't know, monster drinks or pep pills or something, whatever legal substance they could give. I'm not ever going to say that he dipped into Hunter Biden's cocaine bag and took a couple blasts and went out there. Or did he? All right, anyways. He was pepped up, had tons of caffeine in his system, and he looked like a feeble old man out there, totally lost, couldn't figure out what he was saying. He couldn't, man, got a little problem here. There we go. Couldn't remember where he was, what he was saying. It was just an embarrassment, and the world saw this. The amazing part about this is, leading up to it, even to the day before, the Democrat Party and its propagandist media, known as the Praetorian Guard or, Pravda, or whatever you want to call it, Soviet-style, communist-style press, that all they do is promote the ideology they believe in, and they all believe in the Democrat Party, was saying how awesome he is, how brilliant he is, and how he stays on point, and how his brain is just so effective, and he works, and he thinks, and that all was proven to be an absolute and total lie last night. They were shown to be liars. The people around him were liars, and shame on Jill Biden, who all she cares about is staying in the White House as First Lady and maintaining her perceived position of power for her husband. Remember, Democrats only care about two things: their party and power. And that was shown last night. So, other things we saw last night. Joe Biden should be ashamed of herself. My dad has some of those same conditions, the dementia and things going on, losing his memory and stuff. And you know what? I would never allow him to go out there and do something as Joe Biden's doing. You know, in fact, I took the keys away from my dad so he couldn't drive a car. And I sold his car so he wouldn't go out and hurt himself or somebody else. And yet the Democrats, who are craving power and control over your life, are willing to have this dementia-ridden old man who is as corrupt and evil as can be drive or be at the steering wheel of this nation. Shame on you. You're all disgusting. Now the funny part. Today, you see all kinds of reports from all over the place from Democrats. Everything from CNN, MSNBC, New York Times, Washington Post, everywhere saying maybe it's time for Joe to go bad. We had no idea that he was so bad, and we thought he was sharp. No, you didn't. You lied. You lied the whole time. For 3 years, people like me have been saying he is in trouble. He is mentally not there. He does not know where he's at. He's got cognitive problems. He has got dementia or something going on in his head that he's wrong. Something's wrong with him. No, you're just a hater. You didn't. No, not a hater. I'm a realist. And if the realist hurts your feelings, that doesn't make me a hater. It just means I hurt your feelings, and too bad. So the dementia-ridden person doing what he thought he could do last night is get into a debate with someone who is so sharp and on the money, even at almost 80 years old himself, showed a vast difference in ability. Donald Trump stayed to the points all the way until they got to their golf things. Who had the best swing? Who could drive farther? All, you know, yeah, you see stuff like that, and you still got to laugh and go, really? You little boys have got to still just see who's the biggest, meanest, toughest on the block, blah, blah, blah. Wow, knock it off. The country's at stake. There's too much at stake in this election. You know, we can't afford 4 more years of this evil and corrupt president and his party being in power in any way, shape, or form. I can't afford trying to live off of less and less and less each year because of the destruction of our dollar by this party. I can't afford to have all these illegal aliens coming in and harming friends, family, or anybody that I know because they just don't care about their American citizen. All they want is 10, 15, 20, 30 million more registered voters in some states, which is totally illegal according to the Constitution. You have to be a citizen to vote. But they don't care. Like anything else, anything that happens within the Democrat Party that they don't like, they don't care. They do it anyway. They are just that evil. And last night, their standard bearer fell flat on his face. Again. Well, this time he didn't do it physically. He just did it in front of the entire world so they could see just how bad he is. Our enemies are laughing at us because of this guy. They're emboldened, and he has done nothing but support and defend our enemies. Everybody from the Palestinians in Gaza to Iran by giving them $100 billion. $100 billion. Iran was on its deathbed. The people were getting ready to rise up. They were going to take and overthrow Iran and get back to a normal civilized country, one of the greatest nations prior to the mullahs taking over we have ever seen. But what did they do? Joe Biden, with Barack Obama's probably instructions, freed up money, sent him $100 billion. They rearmed, and they started up their nuclear program again. Good job. You just gave aid and comfort to our enemy. You should be taken out and put in prison for treason. But there's still people who defend him. So, well, he's still better than Donald Trump. Well, please explain to me how. Well, Donald Trump's a liar. Oh, please. If I hear that again from these Democrats, okay, so Donald Trump may have lied. Politicians lie. That's what they do sometimes. I don't know what he's lied about. Please point it out to me, and I will look for it. But at the same time, you'd rather have a guy who is a pathological, senile old man who's a liar and a corrupt person and should be in prison for the rest of his life along with his whole family be president. As long as your power is maintained and you're able to inflict damage on this nation because you hate this nation. Democrat Party hates this nation. They hate the Constitution. They hate the laws that govern it. They hate the people. Because all they care about is getting more people in here to maintain their power. People who vote for them, for the Democrat Party, for Democrats, you share in that blame. You share in the destruction of this nation. You share at being just as evil and corrupt as the entire party. And if I'm hurting your feelings, I don't care. The future of my country is at stake here, and you don't care. You would rather run this whole nation into the ground like you have in California than make it prosperous for people. You'd rather take care of illegal aliens and criminals than people who are citizens and veterans. You just don't care about the American people. If I sound a little perturbed today, I am. I am so happy to see how good of a job that President Trump did in destroying Biden, and he did it with class and style, and he did it on point, and he didn't let his temper get to him, and he just basically let Joe Biden destroy himself and pointed out the lies of Joe Biden, which are basically everything Joe Biden has done in the last 50 years. But of course, Joe Biden could only remember all the good stuff he's done, like, well, man, well, come on, man, all those things he's done that have been so awesome and have helped people. And, that thing and the other thing too. And, come on, man, that's what he's done. He is a failure. And he shouldn't be in office, should have never been in office, but he's there anyway. Now we got to get him and his party out of there so that they can quit destroying a nation. Maybe we can get back to some normalcy in this country and people can go back to prospering and enjoying their nation and their lives. So tired of this Democrat Party. They've been evil since 1820 when they were formed. Remember, that's just who they are. They can't help it. They are the party of slavery. They are a party of segregation. They are the party of denying people their civil rights, denying people the right to vote. They are the party of the Ku Klux Klan. They are the party of anti-Semitism. They are the party that hates America. And I'm not saying Republicans are beautiful and wonderful and stuff like that. There's a lot of Republicans I'd throw into that same category. But us, who are constitutional conservative and also MAGA Republicans, who want to make America great again. And isn't that amazing how we can sit there and say that we want to make America great again by making it prosperous and strong again, and yet the Democrats want to call us crazy for being MAGA and say MAGA is some kind of evil organization. Okay, so just listen to that. We want to make America great again, and they think that we're crazy and we're radical because we want to do so. Just shows you how what kind of low lives they are. Anyhow, I just wanted to get on today and have a good laugh and tell everybody the what I saw last night in the debate, and I've seen little bits and pieces of more clips of what happened, and I have not watched the whole thing. Like I said, for 30 minutes is all I could watch, and feel sorry in some ways for Joe Biden that the people around him who should be watching out for him and caring for him are actually the worst people around, and even worse than Joe Biden. Jill Biden, shame on you. Everybody in the Biden family, shame on you for doing the stuff you've done to you, that old senile man. But you don't care. As long as there's power involved, and as long as there's some form of benefit for you, and you can take and benefit from it financially or prestige, you'll do it. You just don't care about people. Anyhow, that's my take the day after the first debate, and hopefully the last time we'll see Joe Biden on a stage, and they can move him out of there eventually. I don't know how they're going to do it. There's been several ways that scholars have said, constitutional scholars said, it can be done. But let's see what happens. Let's see if the Democrat Party remembers how to do these things and get the people that are basically a train wreck off the tracks so they don't destroy the entire party, which I hope they do destroy the entire party. I hope the Democrat Party goes away and we never hear of it again. But that's my fantasy. Anyways, you have a wonderful day. Enjoy life and liberty. I'm not stealing Levin stuff there. Life and liberty. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your liberty and freedoms. And until we see you again, this is the Craig L. Hayes Show, and I am Craig L. Hayes. Take care.